Yo guys, welcome to the video. This is Josh or Milky and welcome to the day 2 update of the Seething Rehan build. I've done a lot of changes to the build since yesterday's video and it is now capable, as you can see, of killing all the uber bosses in the game. I even managed to get it to kill the 2 invitation pirate. I'm yet to try the 3rd. We might try it on stream today, but it is very difficult and I don't think the build is quite capable yet. But I have made some substantial changes to the build. We're going to go over that in this video of exactly what I changed. As you can see from the footage, it was capable of taking down the Uber Keegan really easily. There's a few deaths here and there. We managed to take down Uber Traveler. Again, a couple of deaths, but mainly due to my skill rather than the build's ability, which is kind of the classic. And then the pirate went down easily. So what exactly did we change about the build? I'm going to go over all the items and how I managed to fix one of the most difficult problems fixed right now for most builds, which is how to get further. Enjoy the video. So coming straight on into game, if you look at these items, you will definitely notice a large difference from yesterday. We've changed pretty much everything except the gloves and the ring. The way the build functions is identical, but all the items work together to make an absolutely insane build. We've gone for a circular killing and the build revolves around building up as much multi-strike as possible. And this is made possible because the Seething Spirit can actually multi-strike when he attacks. So you can essentially multi-strike while moving. So it makes it a great combination with Seething Rehan. We're using the Fool's Crown, which adds a huge amount of physical damage to the main hand weapon, putting this weapon up to more like a 700 DPS, maybe even more weapon. The Infinity, we went with a Formless. Formless actually increases our Warcry effect, and it's very important to get this with Warcries cast immediately. This is because if you're using these, they will slow you down in the map, and that's exactly what you don't want. This build is built on speed, and if you're constantly stopping to use your Warcries, it's going to get really annoying. So having them be instant is crucial for the build. You have to find one with instant. It doesn't have to be Formless. There are some other good options like Impending. Rushed is very good. Some really nice choices. I'll leave a list down below of what I would recommend to go for if you can't find a Formless. So what exactly does circular killing do? Well, it adds a base effect to fervor, and that is +2 multi-strike chance per fervor rating. And getting fervor rating is very difficult since our glove slot is actually taken, until I found out about this new hero memory. Chaotic Oracle says gains points of fervor when hitting an elite. And the game is very, very confusing sometimes. If you have any affix that says that you gain points of fervor or you gain fervor rating, this still means you need to have a source of fervor. This memory does not mean that. If you have this memory, you will also have fervor. As you will see, I'll hit the dummy here. I have no source of fervor on the build other than that memory, and you can see I'm building fervor rating. So this memory is absolutely incredible, and it's going to fit into a lot of builds, and it's going to be a really nice way to solve fervor. Obviously this isn't going to be the case if you can't squeeze in a memory, but it's another option if you want to grab it. We're still going with the Future Burnt Offering. It just makes the build so much nicer, and 1 Sullen Spirit. This could change, but for now it is what it is. Mapping, we're still using the Explode. Against bosses, there are better options. I haven't explored them yet, but if you really want to push this to be able to kill that 3 invitation Void Pirate, getting a better relic with a mod that actually helps you in the encounter is obviously going to help. Another really crucial thing that I've added to the build is the Guttural of the Drowned. Defense was this build's biggest weakness. If you get the corrosion that causes any non-full life state to be considered low life, then any hit you take will be considered a severe injury. You are reserving enough life to always be considered low life. So any hit you take will be considered a severe injury and cannot be fatal. This has an 8-second cooldown, but it's a huge amount of defense for the build, and it will ensure you're not getting one shot. This is what allows me to basically stand and tank the uber bosses and just not die. It's very important for the build. If you can't get a corroded version, the uncorroded version is still good, but you are going to get one shot every now and again because this only activates if you're less than 35% health when the hit happens. This also has another effect on our passive points. We can now actually activate No Loose Ends. There was an error in yesterday's video. If you don't have the amulet, that means you are considered low life. I would go with Life Path to double your regain. This will just make you a bit more durable. You'll be able to regen up any life you lose a lot faster. But because you have the amulet, you are always considered as low life. No Loose Ends means you will always have plus 35% additional attack damage. It's a really nice combination with the amulet. Everything else remains the same. All these will be in the builder below for today's updated version. And we did change a few things on the skills. I added in crit strike damage. Now that we have fervor, our critical strike chance is incredibly high, so critical strike damage is very useful. It is a much bigger damage multiplier than steamroll, which we were using before. And then multi-strike, as I say, we want our Seething Spirit to be multi-striking. It's one of the only ways in the game you can multi-strike while moving. So this is what we're going to lean into and try and have him deal as many attacks as possible. This, again, combines with his ability to deal double attacks based on the growing anger hero trait. When he attacks and deals double damage, he will attack again. This can also be a multi-strike. So every time he comes out, when you hit 100 rage, does a big multi-strike, and then if it deals double damage, he will do another big multi-strike. So you're just constantly getting so many attacks in. That's what's causing you to do so much damage. I will hit the dummy here just briefly, but I know some of you guys like to see it, so I will show. And we kind of immediately hit 1 billion. That was without buffs. We had to ramp up. Yeah, the build does an insane amount of damage. It's very hard to test upgrades for the build beyond this point because the dummy just doesn't go high enough. But that's it for this build. There's nowhere really I would want to take this further without stupidly min-maxing it and getting corrosions on items such as Varagon Shroud, or getting an even better chaotic ending, or maybe looking to get Explode or +3 active skill level on my chest. I'm just not willing to take it that far. You can, if you like. You could get a corroded circular killing. Honestly, the build is more than capable of doing everything without all those things. It's been a really quite easy to put together build. It came together out of nowhere, and it's going to be hard to beat moving forward, but I'll definitely try to do so. I'm going to be playing it today on stream. We're going to be doing some more T8 farming, maybe some bosses in between. If you want to see that, go check me out on twitch.tv/MilkyBK. Like and subscribe, all that. I'll see you next time.
I'm sure